Hello and welcome back, everybody. For most of my life, I've been led to believe that your only purpose in life was to be successful. Like that was your only goal was to be successful in life so that you can make people happy, such as your family, your friends, your spouse, your partner. You know, from a young age, that is which has been indoctrinated to men like me. And when I was younger, like many younger brothers, and especially coming from a Caribbean background, like in a Caribbean household, you don't get the proper guidance or structure to become a man. It's a truth, it's a fact. Some of them do. Like, I'm not saying everybody's in a situation where no, not both parents present in the house, but the majority of us, and even if both parents are present in the house, it's a certain mindset. It's the mindset of you gotta become successful at a young age. And at a young age, as soon as you're old enough to have an income, such as your teenage years, where you're old enough to do some kind of a supermarket, grocery store work, even packing in bags. You just packing in grocery bags for a little change, a part-time job after you study. It's expected that you contribute to the household. So it's more in the sense of what can you do. And from a young age, in most Caribbean households specifically, but this goes on to many blacks from the diaspora, so black Caribbeans, black Americans as well. It seemed like the way we were raised is like there's not much care for a young black man. You understand? A young black boy. We don't even want to make them man properly. And at a young age, they get condemned of the lack of their abilities. So they're not even getting trained because that's what you normally do when you get a boy. You gotta train him. You gotta guide him. Now I'm not here to whine and complain about my field elders or the elders that failed me, or the guardians and custodians that did not contribute me towards my life that it is. But I'm using this as an example of the broader spectrum because I'm not the only one. Look, it's very prominent in the Caribbean culture, but in other cultures as well. In all cultures, a lot of like in every race, every culture have this going on that the few rotten apples, the people don't really care about family values, but it's more prevalent in Caribbean, Guyanese culture specifically, but also Jamaican and Trinidad Caribbean culture. It's a lot. The reason why I'm throwing this out there is to say that that should not be your only thing. Like the goal is to become success, because that's not the goal of life. Like it's nice if you have it. Success is always nice. It's always, you know, happy there. It's always good. There's nothing wrong with that. And so it's nice if you have it, but that should not be the sole purpose of life. Like isn't it better if you die loving what you do? Isn't that like real success? If you die doing what you love, you die like doing what you love to do. Whether you gain materialistic or physical success from it, yes or no. And that should be a byproduct of it, whether it's your path, yes or no. I think that's more the case, and that need to be taught more towards the youth and the people you want to raise in your own community or in your own culture. And I think that's more of a thing we should focus on. This is like a real global issue. This is an issue that's been going on a long time, And this is a global general issue. Like this issue right here is like all over the world. All like this is all people face this issue. The youth, like we look at now little boys and girls and the future, as in what can you be and what can you contribute to the family, or what can you contribute, what can you become, without even giving proper support or stand to build that person up to become that individual you would wish them to become, instead of like reflecting on yourself, and if they are not that person you wish them to become, or in other words, you cannot contribute or benefit from them, you tend to take away, and you tend to discard them, and you tend to throw them away and ignore them and throw them away and in the dumpster somewhere. You tend to ignore them, to dump them in the dumpster, to cast them out of your circle. That's what you tend to do. And I know this, and I've experienced this firsthand already by myself many times. They expect you to give without them even contributing or supporting you. People, all they do is take without giving. And that's sadly enough the society which we live in. Now, after 5.5 minutes talking about my views on happiness and success, what success really should be like, I'm here to give y'all really the progress about the place I've been so far, my journey, and the things I've learned from my travels in my journey so far. So let's start right here. I'm gonna switch over the camera so y'all can see where and which what symbolizes, signifies of the items I've collected. So this right here, this is a lady, right? I got it from an African convention along with these. This is South African convention. This mask, like Dogon mask, I got it from my brother-in-law who lives in England. This one, I bought it from the museum in Guyana, Georgetown, when I visited Guyana in 2014, which is a long time ago. This is an African drum man, also from Malian, right? This is Amenhotep III. I got that from Egypt when I visited there last year, along with Sebek. See? Got the capra right there by his feet. Just chipped off a little bit here. You can see, got the staff. So these from Egypt. Amenhotep III and Sebek. That's what I got so far. Then I collected this cup. It's a deer cup with ancient Amerindian Arawak mural. So this is the Arawak glyph, like yes, a pictogram. So Arawak mural, rune, that's their way of drawing. This Arawak mural, Amerindian from Guyana. So this is very interesting as well. As a Guyana shot glass. So you can like take your liquor shot glass in there. Further, I got that from France. All them guys, a lot of those immigrants and those people from all kind of countries, from Senegal, from Gambia, you stand right there in front of France. I know France got an immigration problem. Let's be real, the whole world got an immigration problem. And my opinion about it is, yes, it is a problem, but that's a result of colonization. If the West, and I repeat, if the West did not colonize most of the world when they did it during the Columbian era, during the transatlantic slave trade, and really all those nations and countries, like going from South Africa, New Zealand, to Australia, wiped out, killed out all the aboriginals in the Americas. If that did not occur, they will not be facing this karma today. They will not be reaping this trial over there, of course, because now those are all Commonwealth colonies. Now, where are they going to stay? They're going to go to your countries. That's what happened. That's what a colony is. The colony will always want to attach itself to the main land or the homeland, you know, so that's the homeland. But anyways, nice going by the Eiffel Tower in France. And Guyana again. This was my favorite place I've ever visited. Kaieteur Falls. It's remarkable. No, it should be what I think it is one of the world natural wonders, you know? One of the world natural wonders. So this is it. The largest single drop waterfall in the world. It's a very interesting place. So it's a true place, you know, it's a miracle. It's extraordinary. So that's just been my journey so far. As far as my travels, I've traveled all the places as well, you know. Notable mentions, countries, unexpected countries like, you know, Ireland, Morocco. But yeah, this is interesting to see like what the world has to offer. You know, it's a big world out there, and I've seen quite a lot, but I want to expand my journey, and I want to hope. I just hope by this I can bless everyone else along with my journey. You know, so that's all I'm saying right now. And y'all have a blessed day, or evening, or night, whatever time it is in your local area while you're tuning in and watching this. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay strong. And don't forget, there's no such thing as a testimony without a test.